So I know this cutting of Hoya imperialis doesn't look like much, but this is one of the more fabulous Hoyas because it gets these really big flowers and can actually grow into a very veritable size. So this is a particular plant that grows all throughout Asia. It's pretty widespread actually, and it roots up pretty easily, as you could see from this cutting that I actually got. And it gets these big red flowers, by the way, which is it's super cool because sometimes some Hoya flowers are a little bit small in these umbels, and these are like kind of bright big red ones. This does require a little bit more sun, so it's one of those Hoya species that if you give it maybe somewhere between 70 and 90% of full sun, it's going to be very happy. It is also going to grow pretty prolifically. Right now I have this under one of my Soltech Solution grow lights, and I would say it's like within 6 inches of that grow light, and that grow light gives pretty intense full sun exposure if you have it right up to the bulb. And I probably will eventually move this a little bit closer to my southwest facing window when it starts to look a little bit more charming, but right now it just looks like a stick with a couple leaves. But you know, mind you, that's where a lot of Hoyas start, because a lot of growers just take 1 or 2 node cuttings and actually then start to grow this. I have had no problems with this. I've had it for a little less than a year, but it hasn't had a real proper, growing season quite yet. And you could see that in this mixture, I have some kind of like, well, one, it's really well draining because most of these Hoyas actually prefer a well draining mix. But I also have some things here that shows that this is a little bit more of a limestoney or limey calcareous alkaline solution. So some of these plants do grow in a little bit more limestone regions, so I do have some oyster shells in here or crushed eggshells in order to sweeten up the soil, and I speak more about that in the Hoya care and propagation video on YouTube, so you can find out a little bit more about how to do that. Otherwise, this plant also can grow epiphytically, so that means like growing on other trees. So again, making sure that that mix is well draining is so key and so important for most Hoyas, including Hoya imperialis here.